Hey everybody, Muse and Cammy here, celebrating a decade on YouTube. Can you believe it? Today, in this self-admittedly, self-indulgent, self-important, sucking your own dick vlog retrospective, we're gonna go back in time. We're gonna talk about the last 10 years on YouTube and beyond. What got me on YouTube in the first place? Some of the earlier influences. Kim, you gonna go for it? Oh no. Oh no, Keely. There's gonna be a shit ton of costume changes like Lady Gaga circa 2009. Starting out in this number, which is something I wore in high school because I haven't grown out of it yet. I still fit in it rather well. It's barely gained any weight. Obviously haven't grew any, so here we are. Long sleeves. How about that? Not typically my number. I'm not a fan of it, or stripes. But anyway, you may have heard me mention in the past that I really wanted to get into radio, and that started at a pretty early age. When I was living up in New Jersey, where I lived till I was about 12 or 13, I really wanted to get into radio. Listen to WPLJ, Scott and Todd in the morning, and I thought that was funny. Then later in life, I listened to Opie and Anthony on WNEW, and I was bit by the radio bug. I thought that's what I wanted to do as a career. I found out that the high school I was attending had an after-school radio broadcasting club, essentially, and when I joined, it was not very big. There was like maybe 4 or 5 people, like radio plays I know they used to do, and the club would DJ the homecoming dance. And after a few months, I was able to convince the guy who ran the program to let me on the air. And I ended up doing that show until I graduated. It was basically Opie and Anthony light, kind of the same humor, recycling a lot of the same stories, a lot of the same sound bites. It was me just living out my fantasy of doing what I heard on the radio.
Bill O'Reilly calls up a former producer of the show The O'Reilly Factor. They have, quote, phone sex, and he uses a stick on himself. A moving stick, not just a stick. Stick with movement. She claims O'Reilly and Fox News threatened. Yeah.
Retaliation.
They
she
actually
came
threatened.
With
Him on the phone, he himself said, if you sue me, I have people who can dig up information on you, and no one will believe you because I'm Bill O'Reilly. And he's really making him sound like he's such a huge deal. You're a Fox News reporter.
But in addition to doing radio stuff, there was also a broadcast production class. They had a couple people every day over the closed-circuit TV reading announcements. And I hated that show. I thought it was some of the most embarrassing shit, because you would watch it every day on that TV hanging from the ceiling, if y'all had that. I don't know. Sometimes you have the TV on the rolling cart, sometimes you have it, like, braced in the corner of the ceiling and just think it's gonna fall at any moment. That's what we had. And you look up there every day, and it would just be the same rotation of, like, you know, the popular kids. You know, you gotta put yourself in the shoes of 15-year-old angsty me, nerdy kid, not a lot of friends, and looking at this, and you see the preps. Ugh, God, it's so cringy. It's just like, these people have no personality. I can do better than that. I've already had the experience of doing the radio shit for about a year at that point, so I wanted to give that a try. What I ended up getting was 4th period, and 4th period was you would film intro videos that would air before the daily news announcements. And that was my first taste of video editing. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a lot of fun. It was some of the most creative I'd been up until that point. Still wanted to do radio, but at that point it was like, well, okay, this is another possible option I could pursue. So I graduate high school in 2005, and then there's a little lull up until about 2007. And that is when Ron and Fez come into the story. One day, one of their producers was kayfabe fired. They were heavily into wrestling, so they were always bringing in, like, wrestling storylines. And he came back one day wearing a mask and calling himself the Midnight Rider, which was a reference to Dusty Rhodes doing the same thing in the 70s or 80s. And when I saw a video, I noticed, and I marked the fuck out, because I saw that he was wearing the same WCW assassin mask that I had as a kid. So I thought this was a great opportunity to post a couple videos wearing the mask, saying that I was the Midnight Rider Jr. And I called into the show a couple times.
How are you, Midnight Rider Jr.?
I am doing fine. I heard my daddy talking about me yesterday.
Yeah, here comes your daddy, Midnight Rider Sr. That's my baby boy, Ronnie. My baby. Oh, Junior, so nice to have you back up in the north.
I woke up one morning, Daddy, around that campfire, and I looked over in the other tent, and I didn't see you there. Where'd you go, Daddy?
So these ended up being some of the first videos I posted myself in character, and I posted them on my MySpace page.
Hey everybody out there, this is the Midnight Rider Jr. talking to you, Daddy, and now my job just have but one more silver dollar in my pocket. But I still got my Wwe Posse t-shirt and my Wwe Posse sticker. So I'm gonna send another challenge to you, Ric Flair, and you, Arn Anderson, cause I ain't never gonna let you catch me, no. I ain't never gonna let you catch the Midnight Rider Jr., Daddy. Join the Wwe Posse!
Shortly after that, a guy who called into Ron and Fez a lot, who called himself Paranoid, was recording these parody songs about characters on the show. And I thought I could edit some music videos for the songs. These ended up being the first videos I'd ever posted on YouTube.
That baby is an underage alcoholic. That baby, that baby. That baby is an underage alcoholic. That baby, that baby.
If you're looking for a way to get both physically and emotionally fit, then consider taking Yoga 1 or 2 next semester.
For Gaston College, I'm Mark Muse. America is deeply divided over how Bush is handling the war in Iraq. Inside Gaston's Martino Bryce talked to the Gaston College students to see how they felt about it in this Man on the Street and editorial. You may have noticed that MySpace.com has been blocked from computers on campus. Controversy about the website has stemmed from the fact that users can post false information on their profiles. I went to the streets to find out what students on campus thought about it. After the break, we'll take a look at what challenges non-traditional students have to face at Gaston, and Martino Bryce will tell us what it takes to be a lady. I'm Mark Muse, and this is Inside Gaston.
I'd posted 6 or 7 music videos on YouTube until I posted one that had copywritten NFL footage in it, and my YouTube channel got taken down. But I kept that contact, and I remembered that Paranoid hosted a podcast, and one week he was going to be off, and he wouldn't be able to do it. So I looked around my classmates, because I was going to college for radio broadcasting at this time, and I looked around and I saw the 2 friends who I thought would work the best with me on that, and that ended up being my friend Tony and my friend Dylan.
All presidents now and forever can suck my nuts.
There you go, from this point on.
Because they're all, I mean, really,
Or even in the past.
every politician is basically someone that said, you know, I want to kiss enough ass to get to the top.
You heard him, John Quincy Adams. Suck Dylan's cock.
So we were able to convince our super fucking cool broadcasting teacher if we could use this room that we normally worked on production pieces in, if we could just use it when no one else was in there, and record for about an hour or 2. And we did this for about a week. And at the end of it, I edited down all the bits I thought were good enough to put into a podcast, send it off to Paranoid, and he broadcasted it the week he was off. No one liked it. He got a lot of angry comments asking what the fuck this was. So, we were already in the works of recording a second one when Perry was like, no thanks. So we had a lot of unused material there, which we didn't get to do anything with. But I thought to myself, I said, you know what, we have a lot of good chemistry. We tell really funny stories. I think we get along great. I'm going to convince my high school teacher to let me back there and do radio at the high school with these two friends from college.
Well, my parents and I both liked watching Garfield and Friends, and they
That was
had
a
a lot
great
of,
show.
yeah, it really was. And they had a lot of Garfield stuff. And
Wait a minute, I have to ask this. I didn't ask this the last time. Did your car have the suction cup Garfield?
no. We
You
never
guys
had,
didn't have that? I
No.
figured you would.
My dad has a Garfield coffee mug though. But
Does he say anything witty on it, or is it just a picture of him?
I live for weekends, is what it says on it. The doctor said that my hearing was really bad, and I heard everything underwater sounded like, and here it comes. Everybody get ready.
Everybody get ready.
When I was a kid, I was like 2. I didn't call Garfield Garfield. I called him Garbady. Garbady.
So the show was Garbady and Friends.
So we ended up doing that show from May 2006 to March of 2007, and in that time the Midnight Rider Jr. thing happened, and I also made a film to enter into a festival with a friend, but it was my first filming on location, actually cutting together a thing that I knew other people were going to see.
What happened? Brought the wrong book. How do you bring the wrong book? I just looked and I picked one and put it in the book bag. I thought it was the right one. You didn't open it? No.
You say you just looked at the covers?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell him the dog ate your homework?
Because I don't have a dog.
Why don't you tell him I ate your homework?
He would never fall for that.
Happened before.
That was 5th grade, and I used those scented markers.
Didn't taste like strawberries.
We didn't end up winning. It's not the greatest short film in the world by any stretch of the imagination. We had fun making it. I think it's all on YouTube. If you look for it, I'll put the link to it in the description box. But here's where we finally get to the meat and potatoes. So I don't remember when I created the second channel, C-City 00831, which stood for Circuit City, Store 00831, which is where I worked. And I think the first videos I posted to the channel were filmed at work, and that's why we called it that. Videos of us goofing around, and we ended up getting in a lot of trouble for that, and those videos had to be taken down. But in addition to those, I also posted short comedy skits that didn't rely on other people. They were just things I could do by myself. Here's that glass of water you asked for. I don't think this is gonna work out, Ma. I'm gonna put you in a home. Oh shit! Hey friends, Mark Muse here with the I Ain't Got Time t-shirt. They're still selling $22.95 on Zazzle.com. Pick one up today! Hey! Oh shit! Fuck you, old man!
I'm gonna make you kiss my ass! That's right! That's right! You're gonna kiss my ass! And if you don't kiss my ass,
Why would I go back and check if she's doing alright? Why do I care? What would I do that for? Walk up to her so she can get a clear view of my face? For what, so she can point me out in a lineup? You don't know the first fucking thing about mugging the elderly. Hold on a second, officer, I have a beep, okay? Well, I don't want any blood transfusion. All I want is some bubble gum.
but I really suggest you...
Bazooka Zooka bubblegum! Bazooka Zooka Oh. Oh, that's definitely blood. Oh.
Bubblegum, bazooka, zooka, bubblegum, bazooka, zooka, bubblegum, some gum.
So in the Christmas season, you're working in retail, there's Christmas songs playing over the speaker for at least a month and a half. I was getting annoyed by them, other people were getting annoyed by them, and I was making jokes about the songs that I noticed made other people laugh, so I thought, well shit, I could make these into YouTube videos and post them. And those ended up being the first of my rant-style videos, the 3-part most annoying Christmas songs videos.
Kids sell, obviously. And like I said, technology is another big staple too. Anything that can upgrade an unhip thing is always pretty interesting. Saying that Santa's got satellites, the whole world is his webpage. I mean, HTTP, ASAP. I mean, come on. I don't care if he's 11. That was fucking lame.
In this video, you could really tell an early AVGN influence, and you could also tell in my follow-up rants, some of the earliest ones being Taylor Swift, Hulk Hogan, the Jonas Brothers, American Idol. My first series, so to speak, was a video series called Living with Geddy Lee, which was based on a one-off video I did of what it would sound like if Geddy Lee was in the shower and he was singing in the shower and he got soap in his eye.
Oh, the world to me is a stage of we young million players, actors have... I got soap in my eye! Oh, fuck!
So following that, I posted 10 Living with Geddy Lee videos, and they quickly became what the channel was known for, almost as much as the rant videos.
Necesito que me digas lo bueno que está el jodido café. Lo compro yo. Ya sé que es delicioso. Si Bonnie va a la compra, compra caca. Yo compro este café de gourmet para que al beberlo sepa algo. Pero ¿sabes lo que me preocupa ahora mismo? No es el café.
Hey everyone, this is Geddy Lee and my show Spirit of Radio! The Spirit of Radio with Geddy Lee!
Sentir el espíritu de radio cuando lo lanzo en la tina del baño con el mañana.
The next series I ended up doing was a video series called The Truth Behind Hip Hop, which was based on a DVD series by G. Craig Lewis of X Ministries. And he would go up there and he would talk about the damage hip-hop is doing to the black community. And I thought the videos were bullshit, so I posted videos kind of like live tweeting almost, like watching a little bit, stopping it, commenting, watching it, stopping it, commenting, until those two got hit with copyright by the X Ministries, and those videos were taken down.
What would you rather, Craig? Would you rather perhaps a gay individual getting the crap kicked out of him for being gay? Because that must be a lot better too than showing love on TV between two people. Let's show hate on TV, because that would be a lot more acceptable. He wouldn't even notice. He would not even notice or blink or even stop to think that wouldn't be bad, but he will stop. And if two people of the same sex are kissing, that's what he has a problem with. He wouldn't give a shit!
So in early 2008, I decided to close down the CCD00831 YouTube and create Muse Productions based on a logo my friend at work had made that said a Mark Muse production. It's like a film strip. And in August, I started the WWF Magazine cover-to-cover video series, which was pretty popular. It was the first consistent wrestling content I was putting on YouTube, and it was just reading through a magazine, riffing on it along the way.
Here probably, whoa, what the fuck? Oh my god. Wow. Okay, why is this necessary? This big ass fucking picture of Doink on the right hand side, and then action figures on the left. But, good god. Does it need to be that fucking big? God, that scared the shit out of me. And for some reason it says, slam doink, in quotes. Like someone said, slam doink. Is that a command, or did fucking Frankenstein or the Incredible Hulk say that? Slam doink, in wacky font.
So in the fall, I started interning at a talk news station because I needed the college credits. So I did the radio station that was at the college and this external one. So in that time, I was talking to one of the video producers there, or the board ops, rather, and he was talking about a new Metallica single and how it wasn't any good. And I listened to it, and I thought that would be my next rant video, was on their single The Day That Never Comes, which is what ended up bringing a good bit of metal fans to the channel.
This I swear, this I swear, this I swear.
September 24th, 2009, I posted a video called Wwe Sucks, following 2 weeks worth of conversations I had with Dylan over the phone, watching Raw, just making fun of it. and this was my first time watching wrestling in like 8 years. So a lot had changed. I had a lot of observations, and a lot of people liked that video. So that is when I decided to watch Raw on a weekly basis, and I started Raw Reactions. So in January of 2010, I moved into this apartment and was able to make videos whenever I wanted, because up until that point, when I was living at home, I would have to either make videos when my parents weren't home because I would yell a lot.
You think the record industries are gonna hear what you have to say? Muse, you make no difference. Well, at least I'm fucking trying! What the fuck have you done?
There was a couple of times in there that I was considering trying to sell DVDs of our videos based on the nerd having done that. Nobody bought any. And also tried to sell my Informer, Fuck the Informer shirt. Nobody bought any of those. I don't know why I was trying to sell shit when I was just breaking 6,000 subscribers. Like, who the fuck did I think I was? To celebrate 6,000 subscribers, though, is when Dylan and I made our New Metal Sucks video, which was the first video I posted on YouTube alongside Dylan as a co-host.
I just got a text.
Yeah, but on vibrate so we won't interrupt this genius. Ow, damn.
So around this time, I thought I had enough subscribers that I would apply to be a YouTube partner, but because of copyright strikes, I wasn't able to. So I created a secondary backup channel called Look at Muse in the event that Muse Productions ever got shut down.
For those that doesn't know Muse, he's a skinny, white, angry, untalented, hater, prick, jealous fuck.
Muse Production. Dude, what the fuck is name? Muse.
Muse Productions.
Muse Productions.
Mark Muse over at Muse Productions.
Muse Productions.
Muse Productions. Muse Productions.
Muse Productions, aka Muse. What up, Muse?
Muse.
Hello, Muse.
Hey, Muse.
Don't call this shit Muse.
Look at Muse. Look at Muse. Look at Muse.
However, in August, I thought to myself, hey, maybe I should just abandon this ship entirely and start grooming Look at Muse to be the new channel and apply for a partnership on there, which was foolish because I was starting over from scratch with not nearly as many subscribers, and not a lot of people wanted to make the jump. In the summer of 2010 is when I discovered Todd in the Shadows, and that is when my style changed dramatically. I went from the rant style videos to more of a full-length review style, and I was reviewing Devo's new album, Something for Everybody, Drake's Thank Me Later, Katy Perry's Teenage Dream, Linkin Park's 1,000 Suns, and Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday, which went into November. And it was also at that point when I started doing kind of frequent but inconsistent Billboard Top 10 reviews.
Hey, Snoop, it's Muse. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, I have a new song I'm recording. Yeah, I'm actually recording a song. I know that doesn't make any sense, it's pretty random, but, hey, would you like to be in it? Wow, really? Okay, cool. I have plans for Tuesday.
Raw Reactions was getting a pretty solid following at this point, and I wanted to see if there were other people out there making similar content to Raw Reactions, and that's when I discovered a series called No Holds Barred, hosted by my good friend Doc Pepper. And I was looking around and I was like, whoa, he's on a site like that guy with the glasses? This is really cool. It's like a small little community. So I reached out and I talked to him and I was like, how do I get in on this business? And in late 2010, I was brought into the fold on the websites Extreme Network Online and the Geek Fighters. I made the announcement that I would be joining the websites on October 25th, and on October 28th is when I announced that I would just be leaving YouTube altogether.
And this has nothing to do with you. This is not your fault. But I just want to let you guys know that YouTube and I will be getting a divorce.
That was a mistake. It was a mistake, but I can't see how it could have gone any differently. Because the content I wanted to make at that time was becoming more dependent on using copyrighted material. And I simply wouldn't be able to do that on YouTube. At that point, I stopped making full-length videos on YouTube, started making them solely for Blip, and I was posting 30-second to a minute ads for those videos on YouTube.
So, just wanted to give you a heads up. I will be making proper videos advertising those videos when they're posted, so keep your eyes open for those. But, as for me and nudes, right? Yeah. We'll see you next time.
So in November of 2010, I created the alter ego Marco Mwez, which was a character based on, at the time, John Cena was kayfabe fired, and he returned to do a couple house shows as a masked wrestler called Juan Cena. So I broke out the old Midnight Rider Jr. mask. That was me reacting to how I felt about Spoonie's Dr. Insano, the Nostalgia Critics' Chester A. Bum. It seemed like half of the crew at Channel Awesome had some alter ego character, which was just them in a costume. And I wasn't a big fan of that, so I figured I would poke fun at that with Marco Mwez, which, It had legs.
Muse! Wake up!
So for Christmas of 2010, I wanted to do something big, and I wanted to involve everybody from the Geek Fighters and Extreme Network Online because I was so fucking happy to be part of a team with other people doing similar things. At this point, I'd applied to That Guy with the Glasses twice or so, and was rejected, so I was feeling really low, and I was craving the feeling of being part of a team. So, because I was so happy to be surrounded by these people, I got everyone involved to work on a big crossover video that was a remake of my 2007 rant on Christmas shoes, and I had everyone send me cameos, and that was the first big thing I did with the websites, and it was probably my favorite moment of the whole thing. So it was all downhill from there.
There! It wasn't easy. Well, yeah, I guess it was pretty easy, but it had to be done! An independent music video, a treasured holiday classic, and most importantly, my time were all sacrificed for the greater good. It was all worth it to see my fellow reviewers happy again. Sin, it's finally over. What the fucking jizz-glazed, piss-filled, diamond-encrusted pig shit is this? I taught them a lesson! I showed them who's boss! I made that well-meaning, God-loving, inspirational group of troubadours look like garbage!
All you did was bitch about some 10-year-old Christmas song! What the fuck was that supposed to do?
We started talking about a launch of a website that would combine the Geek Fighters and Extreme Network Online because it was getting annoying having to give people two links or posting content simultaneously on two different websites. So we started talking about creating Reviewtopia. And if you want to hear about Reviewtopia, Doc Pepper and I made a video on our experience with the website up until the time we decided to leave, which is coming up later. View count on Blip was low around August, so I posted a video on YouTube kind of just asking people to watch the videos on Blip. I didn't think it was that much to ask, that if you like my content and you've been subscribed to me for a while, you wouldn't mind going over to this third-party website and just watching what I've been doing, because in my opinion, what I was doing at the time was way better than the content that people had already subscribed to me for.
Since I'm not posting them on YouTube, I'm free of copyright restrictions, so if I want to talk about a song, I can play it. If I want to talk about a music video, I can show it to you. So, there are so many advantages. Go to these websites and see the difference.
It was at this time, a ranter by the name of the Archfiend, who I'd worked with previously on a video called Most Embarrassing Moments. It was supposed to spearhead a contest.
Oh, get out of here, Archfiend. Like, you never embarrassed yourself in front of a girl before?
I mean, no one's perfect, not even me. I'm sure I've looked like a douchebag in front of a girl I was trying to impress before.
The two of us and John Riella, who ended up being who I selected as the winner of that Most Embarrassing Moment contest, we did a three-way crossover where we talked about the worst channels on YouTube, which is not on YouTube anymore because it's extremely outdated. So Archfiend saw that video where I was like, hey folks, watch my shit. And he suggested, hey, you know, your YouTube viewers, they feel like they're being neglected, so how about you post a weekly mini rant to YouTube in addition to the stuff you're doing on a regular basis on Blip. So I think I might have done one or two of them, and then I fell off because the schedule was being taken up by A, working a 40-hour job, and making these full-length reviews for Blip. So I got a video, or a comment on a video, by another ranter who said I was a letdown to everybody, that I promised so much and I didn't deliver on any of my promises. So I made a video live reading his comment and just tearing it to pieces because I was mad.
Why should I personally care if you watch my videos? Are you some loyal fan of mine who we've talked to back and forth for years? You've shown me endless support? No. If that was the case, I might actually care. I might actually be like, oh no, what? Fuck. Man, I guess times they are changing. If blah 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 has now turned the page on me, maybe this is a problem. Maybe this is something I need to work on. But it's rantin' fucking Ramsey.
And that's when the Archfiend wrote me an email saying I really went hard on the guy and I shouldn't have done that. And that's when I now famously wrote back the 2-word response email, piss off. And I effectively burned my bridge with the ranting community because I wasn't proud of those videos and I was doing something new and I should have responded differently. I will admit that. Just saying piss off and then not saying anything to him ever again was not the best way I could have gone about it. And in August of 2011, I had my first crossover with the rap critic reviewing P.D. Pablo's Raise Up.
Okay. Now did you hear any rhymes?
I heard a few internal rhymes, but I'm not really sure what was supposed to rhyme with.
We got a few people from Channel Awesome and Reviewtopia to do cameos in there. That was a whole lot of fun. It broadcasted simultaneously on Reviewtopia and That Guy with the Glasses, so I was excited about that because that was the first time any of my work was on that website. So in late 2011, I created museproductions.com, a website for all my Blip links, so that I thought it would just be easier to promote. Hey, just go to museproductions.com for the new video. Bookmark this one website, all my new shit's gonna be there. And that upset some people over at Reviewtopia because now I was advertising another link over theirs. But at MagFest, at the beginning of 2012, I looked around and I was starstruck, honestly, because my only taste of MagFest at that point was watching the dance videos that the folks from Channel Awesome were posting, of them all dancing at MagFest. And MagFest was less of a convention, and it was where people filmed crossover reviews.
You want to go to MagFest?
MagFest?
Yeah! Oh my god!
Did we just jump cut into MagFest?
How ridiculously contrived.
Well, did you make reservations?
No. Did you book the room?
No. Whose room is this?
I don't know. Are you registered?
Let's just start a review before anyone notices.
Also filmed a lot of footage for a worst of 2011 countdown, where I had a whole bunch of Channel Awesome people, and unfortunately because that video is no longer on the internet or anywhere, it's lost forever because I had a computer crash in early 2012, which cost me about 10 reviews and months worth of Raw Reactions episodes. So those are just lost forever. Peter and I got to hang out for the first time at MagFest. lasting friendship. We're still friends. We still talk on a regular basis. Let me see what else is here. We got to hang out with Matthew of Botchamania. I was a big fan of Botchamania, so it was cool seeing him. We hung out and got to talk to him. Yeah, but it was at the panel, that guy with the glasses panel, that I saw how happy everyone was together. Or at least seemed, you know, in hindsight, that I didn't want to be part of Reviewtopia anymore. So I went back to my hotel room and I wrote an email to the guy in charge saying that I didn't want to be involved with the website. And when version 2 of the website launched, I didn't want to be on it. I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but I helped Todd and Rap Critic with their Runaway video. I filmed the intro, the handheld intro for it, and we just hung out in the room while they filmed the video for an hour or so. Darren tried to shoehorn me into the review, but Todd wasn't interested, which I don't blame him for. He didn't know who the fuck I was. Then about a week later, someone that I met at MagFest and that I had a lot of respect for professionally saw one of my old videos from my rant days, and this was the first time I ever logged on Twitter and saw that I had notifications in the double digits. So, I knew something was wrong. I see that there's a thread about a video I made where I made light about domestic abuse. And I honestly forgot it was even on YouTube, because I wasn't making shit like that anymore. So, I had to do damage control on that. Could have done it a hell of a lot better. Didn't do a very good job, ended up digging myself into a deeper hole instead of just apologizing and removing it flat out, which I eventually did. So I went through all my rant videos and I saw a handful of videos that I deemed problematic, that I didn't want representing me and my brand on YouTube anymore, so I deleted probably between 5 and 10 videos, and I made a video saying that I was going to do that. So a few people were upset that a guy who went around cringingly saying that he was expressing his freedom of speech, whether you like it or not. Jesus Christ. Sounds like a fucking bio on Gab now. One guy in particular made a video saying that my YouTube channel was essentially dead after I decided to censor myself.
They liked the darkness. They liked that offensive material. Not a lot of people are liking what they see now. And right now, they're just basically getting the table scraps of your blip.tv.
So in late 2012, after the whole computer crash and everything, when I got a new computer up and running, the first video I posted was a video of me trying to take a bump in a real wrestling ring and almost dying.
Hey, alright. It sucks.
So up until this point, the only video series we were working on were Muse reviews and Raw reactions, and that was working pretty well. So I keep asking people, hey, what do you want me to talk about? And I'm realizing that a lot of these things people want me to talk about are very niche. Specific music videos of bands I've never heard of, or genres I've never even listened to before. So I didn't want to completely ignore them, so what we did was create First Impressions, and this was the first series that I involved Dylan with. And what we did was we would look at what music videos people wanted us to talk about, and instead of doing full written reviews on them, we just riffed on them. We'd watch them in their entirety and just crack jokes the whole time. And that was the return to the rant style, I guess, in the way that we weren't writing scripts and we were just riffing off the top of our heads. What we're gonna watch instead is a video from Lie or Liar,
which was suggested to us by one Nathan Bishop. Oh.
Was it? Wait, for real, was it?
Yes.
Oh.
And look, the fucking cover for the single.
It's just a still frame from the video.
Britney Spears with her new album, Lazy.
Lazy. I just don't feel like doing anything.
What about me? What about Boondocks?
What
No!
the fuck?
No way!
Oh,
bullshit!
Geez.
Not even words. He didn't say any words.
recently terminated by Reviewtopia, I was a free agent, like John Cena, or more appropriately, Heath Slater. So, I was wandering the countryside looking for a new home, because I still wanted that. I still wanted to feel like I was part of a team, and I got a taste of that at XNO and the Geek Fighters, and it wasn't realized at Reviewtopia, so I wanted to give it another shot. I wanted to be part of a team, so I was a part of 3 teams. I joined Nerdvice, I joined Reviewers Unknown, and Rosen's website. And I was probably on those websites a total of 6 months, and it just didn't work out the way I thought it would, which was totally my fault, and I'll be the first to admit that. On Reviewtopia, I enjoyed being, at the time, a big fish in a relatively small pond. I guess, in a way, I thought my presence was a gift, so kiss my ass. So it didn't work as well with others as I should have. Surprise, surprise. But I think a lot has changed since then. I think I've done a lot of maturing. I'm a hell of a lot more profesh. So First Impressions was added to the rotation of new Muse Reviews episodes, which was very helpful. Because there was a time period where I was just running out of new songs to talk about, to the point where I was talking about 1985 by Bowling for Soup and Laffy Taffy by D4L. So it was a nice change of pace. It took a little bit of the pressure off. But you can tell that 2013 Muse seemed to like the pressure, because we also added a new video series called Rope Break, which was another riff-style series where Dylan and I watched bad wrestling matches. And that added to the upload schedule, which now went from 2 videos a week to sometimes more often than not 3. In 2014, we figured the more the merrier, and we debuted Shitcoms, where we talked about bad sitcoms, and this time we included my life partner, Molly, in the mix. A 3-person team, finally creating what Muse Productions would eventually be.
What's up, everyone? Muse here with 4 new videos up on museproductions.com, starting with a brand new episode of First Impressions.
So in summer of 2014, my good friend the Rap Critic, who I've worked with on at least 5 crossovers with at this point, we did Soulja Boy, we did a First Impressions episode, the Blue Carpet Treatment, we did a Worst of Eminem, Top 10, and the P.D. Pablo review. So we're realizing we work really well together. We have really good chemistry. So in August, we debut the Going Off podcast, which is still going strong to this day. Fast forwarding to June of 2015, I went ahead and gave being part of a team another shot with Geek Vision. You can guess how that turned out. And after a couple more months, the inevitable finally happened, and Blip.tv had shut its doors. After being bought by Maker, which was then bought by Disney. Over the past year or so, Blip had trimmed the content on the website considerably twice, and luckily, we made the cut both times, so we rode Blip out to the bitter end.
He beat me. Straight up. Pay him. Pay that man his money.
In 2017, we said farewell to our old friend, Muse Reviews. After months of posting weekly episodes, culminating in our Look What You Made Me Do review, which was the final Muse Reviews to date, the view count just didn't reflect the work that went into the episodes anymore. It just didn't feel worth it. Writing, filming, editing a Muse Reviews takes a good bit of time, and that was a stress on my life. And if it came down to just not having that many views, that video still doesn't even have 4,000 views, I don't think. And here's the problem with that, right? We filmed the Look What You Made Me Do review when that was like at its highest on the Billboard chart. It was brand new. Everyone was still talking about it, so the timing was great. It was one of, if not the best video I'd ever made in my opinion, and seeing it not perform that well, it was disheartening. And I bit the bullet and said, you know what? Let's just focus on the easier to do, more fun to make, riff-based content. And that's what we're doing to this day. We're doing Rope Break on a monthly basis. I'm gonna give you some chin scritches. Gotta give a break for a little chin scritch. Kiwi likes her a chin scritch. And she likes to obscure the camera view. But that's fine. It's not that important. It's not as important as a little chin cheek scritch. So from there, you pretty much know the rest of the story. We've been stuck at 29,000 subscribers for a while now. Hello, Kiwi. I just put her on the couch right before I hit record again. And the view count is the lowest it's ever been, but you know what? We don't really care. We're having a lot of fun, and that's what matters. When people ask me, as if I'm anyone to ask at this stage in the game, what they should do when they want to start up a YouTube channel, the only advice I really have for them is to have fun. Because if you're not having fun, then the audience is going to be able to tell, because they can tell when you're bullshitting, and when you're just going through the motions and doing what you think is going to get the views. And if you're not having fun, what's the fucking point? Right? So what does the future hold for youtube.com/Muse Productions? Well, we're going to keep doing Rope Break on a monthly basis. We're going to keep doing Riff Break, Riffcoms. We're going to keep doing the Going Off podcast, even though it's on the Rap Critics channel now. And hopefully, one day, we'll find a new video uploading platform that isn't YouTube. 'Cause fuck YouTube.